Okay, it looks like we're live, and so we'll give it maybe another couple seconds, and then we'll get into the lesson, Lord willing. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, great millstone, who rule and teach well, and peace and salutation unto the hopefully elect. This is the priest Bakwasha, and in June, I think every June, and really, I also believe in January, there's an World Economic Forum that's held by the wealthiest of people, the elites, across this globe. And, they're all in cahoots. They're all, conspiring. They're all breathing together the same thought of a new world order. Okay. And that new world order essentially leads to the mark of the beast, the Rfid microchip. But that new world order also is technologically, driven to where the analog society, in which was the initial system of Babylon, will no longer be. And that is to provide the traceability, the arena for Esau, the so-called white man, who is the basically the abode, okay, for the spiritual demon Satan, to be able to rule, regulate, monitor, and at any given time dispose of anyone that is not a part of his anti-Messiah society. And that will be a digital society, which is the reason why the scriptures give us, forewarning of these days in which we're in, pursuant to Revelation 13 chapter, which we'll get. But here recently, I had heard on the radio a couple of Edomites talking about the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset. And the reason why that there is going to be a great reset is because this was all a part of their agenda, is to get people to buy into the systems of America, to where and across the globe. And when those systems begin to fail through the manufactured and fabricated coronavirus and COVID-19 and the pandemic, in which has been ushered in as a test run, a beta run for the ultimate chess move, being Esau, the so-called white man, diluting all systems and economies, and basically leading people into a new world order. Just as right now, there's businesses that took the stimulus, I believe it's called the PPE or PPP. Basically, it's an economic stimulus to have these corporations continue. But what was also in that was that they could not allow people into their stores without mask. And so mask, no service. And that has been a theme, at least for the past couple of weeks. And so really that theme is going to be continually, gradually grown and developed to where nothing in this society will you have access to service without basically obeying Esau's rules and regulations. And that starts off, as something small, but then ultimately it leads to you not having access to any of it. And really that's the New World Order in itself, him having complete dominant control, over every function of your life. And that's from the inception to your death. And, really, he wants to sit in the seat of Yahweh Shem Shai to act as if he's God, and he's not. Okay. And so all of his plans are going to be spoiled. But as I was listening to the radio, they talked about the Great Reset. And so it just sparked my, interest, because when these forums they're had behind closed doors. And so the information in which I'm going to present to you, brothers, Lord willing, will be edifying. We're going to start out with the scriptures because um, there's so many areas that this touches. But Lord willing, through the Spirit, I'm just going to highlight how really all this leads to the mark of the beast. But there's going to be gradual steps. There's going to be certain implementations. There's going to be testing for vaccinations. All of this stuff really just leads to the mark of the beast. Okay, so let's start here. I'm gonna bring that out first. This is Revelation chapter 13 and 11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon." Okay, and typically that's Esau's system, voting, Democrats and the Republicans, and that dragon, that draconian laws in which they implement, all of this is the power in which they were given after they came out of the bottomless pit. Okay, verse 12. "And he exercises all the power, okay, of the first beast, the Roman Empire, okay, before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast." Okay, so all of this is going back to that Roman philosophy. All roads lead to Rome. And all things lead to the chip, the RFID microchip. But that power that Rome had was endless. They said that as far as the eye could see, basically was the domination or the rule of Rome. Okay, and so likewise here in America and really across the globe, going back to the theme of a great reset, it's the World Economic Forum. So it's diluting all of these individual continents and making a new world based off of this false pretense of a pandemic. Okay, which leads to the mark of the beast. So it says, "And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." Okay, talking about this technology, thermonuclear capability, bombs, all the such. Esau, the so-called white man, has that capability of technology. Okay, but that wasn't enough for him to have the gift of the sword. He also wanted to have the complete domination of the earth, which is not his anyway. Verse 14, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live." Okay, so that revised Roman Empire, America in itself, had that wound. It was taken out, but then it came back, and it came back, quote unquote, stronger as far as more wickedness and more lies. And it says to deceive them that dwell on the earth by those miracles. And a lot of those miracles, you look at the propaganda, you look at how Esau can really he can just decree a law just by word, and there's no one really to prevent that law from being executed, because he is the one that actually is the creator of it, okay, here on this earth. And it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. Okay, and that image is in your mind of what America, this globe, this society really is, and how it really is a powerhouse, across the globe. But that is a image that's been promoted, this patriotism, and whether or not you vote, and whether or not you, abide by America's philosophies, all of that was an orchestration, through these summits of this great reset that are held annually. Okay, and they're held annually by the wealthiest of the wealthy, to continue to keep really the globe in itself, the 98%, in subjection. Okay, and really, let me see here. Yep, 15. And really that subjection is to continue to have the people as human resources for their New World agenda. And they want to be able to track and monitor, just as Amazon or any of these other manufacturing companies, powerhouses, Walmart, things of that sort, can track deliveries. They want to be able to track your lifestyle in that manner, and the RFID microchip will be that device. Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that is the idea of a new world order being instituted, and Esau, the so-called white man, being your God. Okay? That's why he's going to kill you, because you're going to buck the system. Verse 16, it says, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, right now, Esau, the so-called white man, through those miracles and through that power in which he has, is causing all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to be, as they call it, on lockdown. Okay? So that goes to show you who actually has the power, okay, to do those things. But why would Esau, the so-called white man, do these things? It's not because of a pandemic. It's not because of this false psychological operation of a RFID microchip being instituted and vaccinations, okay? It's because Esau, the so-called white man, is leading and ushering people to that mark of the beast to take it, okay? But he has to close down Babylon and basically make it restricted, just like quick segue, and then we'll get into the lesson a little bit more. But just like cable, okay, cable TV, initially you only had like a certain amount of channels, right? And those were public channels. And then Esau made, premium channels, and you had to buy into those premium channels or you didn't have access. Okay. And so that's what he's doing now. He shut down Babylon completely. And the only way in which you can have access to Babylon is through this chip. Okay. But yeah, this whole pandemic, this coronavirus, all of this is just it's a lot. All of this is just all of this is just a manufactured scare tactic, a fear mongering, okay, of the people, to have them continue in that vibration of worshiping Esau, the so-called white man. Okay. And like I said, here's the mark of the beast. It says to receive the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay. So all of this is talking about the mark of the beast. It's talking about how Esau, the so-called white man, through these event 201. If you don't know what that is, look that up. Basically, this is the scenario in which we're in now, and all of this is to monitor and to gauge how effective these miracles and that deception in which Esau uses works, and then being able to adjust it and then come back with that next, second, third, fourth, fifth wave. And he can just continue to say that, until he gets the results of what he wants. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to play this first clip. I have a couple of them that I want to play, and then we'll move on to some more information. So, pretty high speed. So here's something I just want to pause on. It says they are responsible for much of the environmental damage they now claim they will reverse. And so basically what they've done is they said that we're going to take care of the situation. Okay, this is a great reset. This is an opportunity for us to actually maximize the wickedness in which we've done across the earth, because clearly we don't know what the hell we're doing anyway. Okay, because if you did, then none of these things would be happening. You know, Esau is a very reactive, right? He's not proactive. And the scriptures are very proactive because they have the answers. And without the answers, all you're trying to do, or what you will be stuck in, is a perpetual problem solving attitude. Okay, because you are the problem. And look at these corporations. Without democratic accountability, why should we believe they would act in our interests? And they're not, because they don't have your interests at heart. They have their own interests at heart. Okay. As before. You see that? Rather than their own commercial interests as before. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna play one more video and then we'll get into some literature. And what they do is they play to your emotions, especially, you know, hearing these videos and stuff like that. We're all one people, we're all, you know, one nation, blah, 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 blah. And really, none of that is the sort. All of this is to have you continue to buy into their lie. And when you do, you essentially give up every right that you have. And see, they're actually broadcasting this. This is from June 3rd, 2020. Okay. So let's talk quickly about who and what the World Economic Forum is. Okay. And I'm just going to cover this, you know, very quickly. World Economic Forum, it says, it's based in Geneva, Switzerland. It's founded in 1971. Is the mission. Select. The WEF's mission is cited as committed to improving the state of the world by engaging businesses or business, political, academic, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. Well, whose agenda? Whose agenda? Are we talking about the agenda of Esau? Are we talking about the agenda of Moab? Are we talking about the agenda of Ham? Are we talking about the agenda of Israelites? All these agendas are as referenced in Psalm the 83rd chapter. The agenda ultimately is to destroy and to keep Israel from becoming a nation. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? I'm going to read a couple more things here. It says, it is a membership-based organization. And membership is made up of the world's largest corporations. So once again, why would the world's largest corporations have your interests at heart? They don't. Okay. And they're not going to. All right. Let's read this real quick. Let me bring this up real quick. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6. It says, let no man deceive you with vain words. For because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. And that's what Esau does. Esau will promote vain words, but they are the biggest corporate corruptors across the globe. Okay. They can never have enough because they ultimately want you and your or our heritage destroyed. But they're going to do it by enslaving people all over again. Okay. So let's jump down here to, I think there's one thing that I was read. And these things have been going on for the longest, but you're not going to see Jacob in there. You're going to see a whole bunch of Europeans. You're going to see, all these other heathen nations, imagining a vain thing, as the scriptures say. And we're going to grab that as well. Let's start. Let's talk about membership. And then, like I said, you brothers can go back and you can read, specifically, whatever information is pertinent. But yeah, look at this. All these meetings and, all these heathens get together and they are the wealthiest of the wealthy. Okay. Talk about environmental issues. Okay. So let's just read this about membership. It says membership. It says the foundation is funded by its 1,000 member companies, typically global enterprises with more than $5 billion in turnover. Why would someone that has $5 billion in turnover annually have your interest at heart? They're not going to. They're imagining an evil thing. It says varying by industry and region, these enterprises rank among the top companies within their industry and or country and play a leading role in shaping the future of their industry and or region. Well, all of these companies are based off of commercialism. So they're all competing in the market for who? You. To do what? To corrupt you, to manipulate you, to deceive you, to cause all, small and great, rich or poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Because even according to the UPC, you are a product, universal product code. Okay, so with these industries, you are the target. Okay, we are the target. It says membership is stratified by the level of engagement with forum activities, with the level of membership fees increasing as participation in meetings, projects, and initiatives rise. In 2011, an annual membership cost $52,000 annually. Well, to someone who makes $5 billion a year, that's like a penny. Okay. And that's the reason why all of these meetings are exclusively reserved for only those that are of the elite. For an individual member, $263,000 for industry partner and $500,000 for strategic partners. Yeah, strategic. And an admission fee cost of $20,000 per person. And that was in 2011. What do you think it is now? In 2014, WFE raised annual fees by 20%. So there you go, bringing the cost for a strategic partner from CHF 500,000 to basically 550, and so basically everything went up 20%. So, like I said, you brothers can go back and you can read that, but I'm gonna touch on a couple of quick things. Let's bring out this real quick. Man, boy, you just don't know where to start with these scriptures. This is Luke 6:24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation, because you won't receive the kingdom of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Okay. Your mind is fully set to do evil. All right. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you. So, okay, well, basically, we stop at 25. Okay. But yeah, these rich men have received their consolation. All right. This is James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. And this great reset in itself is a misery. Now, Esau is using it as an opportunity, you know, but this is miserable in his eyes because he knows that this is the only shot he has. And he has to try to fulfill it. Okay. Because no one's trusting the dollar any longer. All that's been diluted, you know. Everyone's jostling for the new head of global dominance, China, Russia. Okay. And that it says, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Because ultimately, the reason why this great reset is happening is because of the lack of power and the lack of trust that people have for not only America, but the American economy and the dollar in itself. It's completely crashed. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures you have heaped treasure together for the last days. And this is it, you know. This is their last couple of, shots at, obtaining this new world order, and then it's done. All right. So yeah, let's look at this real quick. This is from the International Monetary Fund, and we're gonna play one more video, and this chick is in there too. But even as I was, looking at this, it's crazy because I have the same article, but I looked it up on 2 different days, and it's 2 different. It's the same site, but her picture is on this side on one, and then it's on the other. But anyway, just something I had noticed. So let's read what Kristalina Georgieva says, and I guess she is the managing director of the International Monetary Fund. Okay, because all of these systems, in which I'm going to show you real quick, all of these systems are aligned. Okay, every last one of them for this great reset. All right. And all of them exclude Israelites. So this is June 3rd, 2020. My thanks to His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, and to the Professor Schwab for bringing us together. Now, Professor Schwab, okay, is the originator, Klaus Schwab. Okay, I'm going to read him. It says, is a German engineer and economist, best known as the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. His wife and first collaborator, Hildy, co-founded the Schwab Foundation for Social Entrepreneurship with him, blah, 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 blah. So this is the guy that is the originator of the World Economic Forum. Okay. So imagine what kind of bread these people have. We already talked about that, more than $5 billion annually. Okay. So let's get back to this chick. Now is the time to think of what history would say about this crisis, and now is the time for all of us to defend our own role. Will historians look back and say this was the moment of a great reversal? Today, we see very worrying signs. 170 countries are going to finish this year with smaller economy than at the start of the year, and we already project that there will be more debt, bigger deficits, and more unemployment. So, once again, if you are the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, then how has all of this taken place? The pandemic and the coronavirus didn't cause that. America in itself was already in the trillions of dollars in debt. China in itself basically owns half of America. So it's not because of the current situation, but they're using the current situation okay, to implement more of those draconian laws, that dragon, okay? It says, and there is a very high risk of more inequality and more poverty. But you don't really give a damn about inequality or poverty. Let's read this again. This is Ephesians 5 and 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words. They're empty. They have no value. They do not profit. For because of these things cometh wrath upon the children of disobedience. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna read this last part because we can watch the rest of the video. It says, unless we act. So what would it take for historians to look back at this crisis as the moment of the Great Reset? And they're going to show you that they've been planning this the whole while. Like they didn't, all of a sudden say, oh, hey, this is what we're going to talk about this year. When last year we talked about it and the year before we talked about it, because it's all a planned event. 201. From the perspective of the IMF, we have seen a massive injection of fiscal stimulus to help countries deal with this crisis and to shift gears for growth to return. It is of paramount importance that this growth should lead to a greener, smarter, fairer world in the future. And that's not possible. So anyway, I just wanted to leave that, brothers, Lord willing, that'll be in the description box. So let's get to the actual website of the World Economic Forum. And I'm just going to read a couple of these bullet points, and then we'll get some more scriptures. It says the Great Reset, a unique twin summit to begin 2021. So they're already thinking about, okay, well, what are we going to do next year? See, because although Esau is reactive, he's also proactive in his wickedness. Okay. He's reactive to the prophecy of the scriptures, but he's proactive towards his wickedness. Okay. Scripture talks about it, that in Micah, the 2nd chapter. Okay. How basically, he worketh evil upon his bed. When the morning is light, he practices it. And if you brothers can post that, I could read that. I don't want to, mess up this vibe as far as, the internet, Satan be tripping. It says, the Great Reset will be the theme of a unique twin summit in January 2021. Convened by the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset is a commitment to jointly and urgently build the foundations of our economic and social system for a more fair, sustainable, and resilient future. Okay? See, because scripture says their inward thoughts that their houses are going to continue forever, but it's not. Okay, that's why scripture says, ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. There will not be a continuation of Esau's system. Okay, as much as he wants that to happen, there will not be. It says it requires a new social contract centered on human dignity, social justice, and where societal progress does not fall behind economic development. And none of these things Esau actually has within himself. That's not his nature. Okay. Dignity, justice, progress, economic development. You really only want that for yourself. Okay. That's why it says, let me go back. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you. Because people are going to start to see through the lies in which you have been casting upon them. It says, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Okay. All of these lies are going to come back to bite you in the ass. All right. Last 2 points. The global health crisis has laid bare long-standing ruptures in the economies and societies and created a social crisis that urgently requires decent, meaningful jobs. The Twin Summit will be both in person and virtual. And so these are some of the people that are going to be here. And look, they're all CEOs. Okay. Okay. Founder and Chief Executive Officer, Chipper Safer, or Salakia, Chip Safer. Really? Chip Safer. Let's go back to Revelation. Chip Safer. Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay. These are the things that are going on right now, man. All right. But once again, why is the CEO, Victoria of Uruguay, okay, of Chip Safer at this World Economic Forum? Because they are going to implement the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. That is the great reset. Okay. MasterCard. Okay. All right. Okay. Why MasterCard? Okay. Because MasterCard, just like, gradualism, things were paper, and then they went to checks, and then from checks, they went to credit cards. Okay. Now from credit cards, they're going to go to this RFID microchip. Who else is on here? BP. Okay. Microsoft, of course. So yeah, like I said, you brothers can go back and read in detail, because it's I mean, you can clearly see that Esau is gearing towards the chip. Okay. I'm just going to read this part about the opportunity. Let me see what this is. I think I played this earlier. It might be the same highlights. Yeah, it's the same highlight. And I'm going to play that in a second. It says, let me start here at the top. It says the Great Reset. Okay, this is from the World Economic Forum. All right. It says, there is an urgent need for global stakeholders. Who are the global stakeholders? The same people that are at the World Economic Forum. Okay. To cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis, in which we started. Problem, solution, reaction. Selection. Problem, reaction, solution. To improve the state of the World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. Okay. Oh, man. And so let's talk about the opportunity. It says, as we enter into a unique window of opportunity to shape the recovery, this initiative will offer insights to help inform all those determining the future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models, and the management of a global commons. Now, who are these people that determine the future state of the global relations? Heathen. And what are they doing? Imagining a vain thing. And what is that vain thing? The RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. Okay. And let's bring that out, because we've said it a couple of times. This is Psalms 2:1. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. They don't want to be attached to Israelites. They want to destroy Israelites. Okay. So let's finish this. It says, drawing from the vision and vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's communities, the Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being. You believe that? I don't. Not 1 second. So, and I'm actually going to pass this up. I'm going to get to this next video. And then, yeah, we'll start to wrap up. Yeah, let's play this first and then we'll get these scriptures. So this is the Klaus Schwab. Okay. Matter of fact, let's just read a little bit about this. Okay. Maybe. So this is from June 5th, right? All right, here we go. It says the Great Reset will be the theme of a unique twin summit to be convened by the World Economic Forum in January 2021. Okay, in-person and virtual dialogues will address the need for a more fair, sustainable, and resilient future. So this is basically a copy and paste from what we just read. In a new social contract centered on human dignity, social justice, and where societal progress does not fall behind economic development. See, economic development is code for how can we continue to make billions of dollars, okay, without the people stopping to withdrawing from our services. See, because the money is the key for them. Okay. But they want to be able to increase that money, which means they need more traceability. They want to know everything in what you're buying. Okay. Not just, little side things that you're doing, that are not tracked by the, IRS. They want to know every move that you make. If you plant a seed, they want to know where'd you get it from? How'd you get it? Okay. Who sold it to you? Who are they affiliated with? Essentially global martial law. Okay. Economically. Let's read this. The World Economic Forum is the international organization for public-private cooperation. Cooperation. The forum engages the foremost political, business, cultural, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. Once again, another copy and paste. They're going to shape it. What are they shaping it into? What is the agenda? Who is going to benefit the most? Why are they going to benefit the most? Are they the ones that should be benefiting the most? Why are you guys having this at a closed forum? You understand what I'm saying? We believe that progress happens by bringing together people from all walks of life. No, you don't, because then if so, we would be there. Who have the drive and the influence to make positive change. Okay, a whole bunch of bullshit. So let's play a little bit of this, and then, like I said, we'll start to wrap up. And the water for you brothers, tuning in. It's early in the morning here in Houston, but got to get it in.
Historical moments of time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system. We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
Now is the time to think what history would say about this crisis. And
now, we just read what she had said. Now she's just repeating the same thing, okay? Because they're actors. They're speaking vain words. They don't really believe what they're saying, but they want you to believe it. That's called a spell or an enchantment or sorcery or witchcraft.
Now is the time for all of us to define our own role. What is it that would make it so that history would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset? The great reset.
Oh, and if you think that that's not accurate, let's read it again. Hold on. I think it's right here. So, what would it take for historians to look back at this crisis as a moment of great reset? I believe that's exactly what she just said.
Own role. What is it that would make it so that history would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset?
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need.
The world's problems fit on three sides of a triangle. It's one versus many, man versus nature, and the unfortunate foundation is long-term versus short-term.
We had already income inequality that was fueling income, race, gender inequality. We have a climate emergency, which we can't walk away from. There's no doubt that the very survival of the human race requires us to act.
Any recovery stimulus should have green conditions attached to it. Energy prices should...
So they say green, okay, but in actuality, they're talking about money. They're not talking about green as in things that's going to benefit the people. They use codes, okay? They speak with a forked tongue, okay? They're saying the same word, but the way in which you hear it is not the way in which the people who they are strategically partnered with hear it, okay?
Reflect real costs.
You need private sector capital, private sector ingenuity, private sector technology, and private sector capabilities to come to the party. You need enormous trust.
Who's the private parties? Private means that everyone isn't included. So how can those that are private benefit those that are public? If the people that are public are not in the private discussion, oh shit, man. Let's bring out some scriptures, man. This is Proverbs. Oh man, we call that circular logic. Okay. This is Proverbs 6:16. These 6 things doeth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. We talked about why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing. They imagine vain things. They speak vain things. They devise wicked imaginations. Their heart is deceitful, man. It says, and feet that be swift in running to mischief. It's Esau all day.
Between the private sector and the public sector for this to actually work.
We have to change our economy dramatically in the next 20 or 30 years, and the next 10 years is absolutely decisive.
The recovery has to be greener than any of the previous recovery.
Why are they saying greener?
And in order to do that, we need to ensure that the stimulus package, including fiscal and monetary, are much greater than they were before. So we cannot waste this opportunity to ensure that the very precious money that
It's almost like they're reading from the same script.
is raised from the next generation is spent on green and low carbon.
We will now start a quite high number of task forces to look at all the different issues, and we will present all those ideas to the people assembled in Davos. But at the same time, we will make Davos very different, very open, to ensure that we do not fall back to old recipes, but that we really look at forward-oriented solutions.
Young entrepreneurs, especially for the
See, you remember Chip Safer? See? Founder and CEO of Chip Safer. What is she doing at the table for the World Economic Forum? Chip Safer is making more than $5 billion annually? Wow. That sounds like a forward solution. Sounds like that great reset. Okay. Let me see here. This is Job. This is Job 21 and 27. Behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. This is Job 21 and 30. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. And you can see it, man. You can see it all in these people's eyes, every last one of them. Okay, their heart is fully set in them to do evil. Okay, and that evil consists of leading you and ushering you to the RFID microchip.
From developing countries that are there and can see the right problem can really step up and create solutions.
Finding profitable solutions to problems of the people and the planet, and we're starting to see firms move to that, and we're seeing firms that behave responsibly in that way actually doing better on conventional measures of profitability and doing better in this particular period.
We've also seen social entrepreneurs step
All right, I'm done on that. Let's just wrap this thing up, man. This is this is Psalms 38 and 12. It says, they also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceit all the day long. Because we got to realize all of these heathen nations, okay, are in cohorts. Okay, they're making councils together to usher in this RFID microchip. They don't have a problem with it because they're already technologically deceived. Okay, they've already bought into the idea of being traced and tracked and microchipped and transhumanism, all the rest of that craziness, because they're anti-Messiah.
in incredible ways. Not only has it exposed the precarious reality, but then it has also exposed the opportunity to reset.
See, she may look like a Jake, but in my spirit, I'm thinking more ham, more kush, okay, more put, okay.
The reset around the most vulnerable and those on the edge, where it only takes something like a pandemic or difficult
Or she could just be a 2/3 Jake.
Circumstances to slide into poverty.
And then we need to couple that with new initiatives to
Microsoft.
With the digital skills they'll need, not just to have a tech job, but a job that is increasingly tech enabled in almost every part of the economy. If we can
in every part of the economy,
empower consumers with all of this, I think we unleash this next generation to have a much broader impact more quickly.
We can live.
Anyway, you brothers, like I said, can go back and watch all of this. Let's read that again. Psalms 38:12. They also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long. All right, so last video here I'm going to play, and all of these are on the YouTube and website or whatever, but this was in June 11th. I believe this was June 5th, and this is June 3rd, and this was July 7th. So basically all the culmination of those things in which we had just previously talked about, okay, and how all of it just leads to the mark of the beast. So let's play a little bit of this.
That have joined the COVID platform. No, we are also moving into the mood of looking at what would a great reset look like, how to restart the global engine, how to get out of the recession. Emerging economies are at this point looking at its first really contraction of the economies for the first time in 6 decades.
We cannot end this pandemic unless we end it in every continent and every country. We will be truly safe only when everyone is safe. There is a profound hunger for global leadership that can exercise moral imagination and moral courage on behalf of.
Notice he said imagination. Okay. See?
And exercise moral imagination and moral courage on behalf of the common good.
The best way that the banking system can aid that process and aid, frankly, making this recession as tolerable as it can be is to continue lending.
And see, that's really the issue. The money is cankered. The gold, the silver is cankered. Did we finish that in James? Nope. All right, so let's finish that in James. It says, James 5:3, your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter, because they really ultimately want to kill everybody. Georgia Guidestones. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doeth not resist you. So yeah, all of this is by fraud, And what's happening now is Yahweh Shem Yahushua is having all these things be a witness against you. Okay.
There was a lot of firepower used by central banks. Absolutely the right thing to do, no question about that. We have to stabilise financial markets, but we're going to have to come back and revisit the effectiveness of doing that.
There is a pressing need to reduce the continent's high trade dependency on non-African partners. Intra-African trade accounts for less than 16% of the continent's total trade, and therefore, in post-COVID world, once fully operational, the CFTA could boost intra-African trade significantly and aiding economic recovery.
We should also make sure that we get a more sustainable economy. There are huge opportunities here, and we can also leapfrog when it comes to digitalization.
There were a number of automation and digitalization trends already underway that were already likely to disrupt jobs. And I think what this crisis is likely to do is actually make that opportunity for reaction, that window for opportunity, even shorter than it was before, because a lot of the digitalization trends are likely to accelerate in this current crisis, in addition to the job losses from the structural change that has occurred.
We're putting a lot of emphasis.
Yeah, so like I said, you brothers can go back and read and listen to all the rest of this, and we'll end off here. This is Psalms 37:12. It says, "The wicked plotted against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth." So these are the things that Esau is doing, man, and he's doing these things because he knows that he has but a short time, but he also wants to usher in that mark of the beast, and really that in itself is what he really is, his agenda is. So really that's all I had. Lord willing, all this was edifying. Salakia had to work out this morning, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Till next time, I'm say shalom.